Welcome back to Photography Show. Now, I am a big advocate of smartphone photography, smartphone videography as well. I mean, I've got DSLRs, I've got good cameras as well as smartphone cameras. Now, for me, smartphone photography, there are limitations to that. I'm at the DxO stand here, and I'm going to take a look at a device called the DxO One, which takes your smartphone photos and videos really very much to the next level in a way that no one else is doing. DeMarcus, you've got a DxO One around your neck there. Tell me what it is, and as a smartphone videographer, what it's going to do for me.
Okay, so this is the DxO One. It is our solution to the smartphone photographer or videographer who really wants to get a little bit more quality in their photos, but who doesn't want to carry around a DSLR or a huge video camera. So this is our camera. It's very small. It can fit into your pocket. It only weighs 108 grams, so it's lighter than the lightest iPhone. It's a little bit over 2.5 inches, so it's really, really tiny. It's smaller than the grip that you have on a DSLR. Inside of it, though, you have a 20.2 megapixel sensor. This is a 1-inch sensor, so it's the world's smallest 1-inch sensor format camera. You also have a 6-element aspherical lens that opens to f1.8 aperture, so really, really crisp, sharp photos, nice depth of field. The sensor in this is actually 6.5 times bigger than the sensor in an iPhone or an iPad, so that gives you 10 times more sensitivity to light. Now, the cool part about this camera is that it's a professional quality connected camera. Connected meaning you open the camera to activate it, you push down just a little bit more, the connector pops out. Wow. Right? Okay. So inside you have the connector, you have the sensor, you have the lens, you have a battery that's integrated inside. You also have your charging port and your external memory card, so we don't kill the memory of the phone itself.
So this is, in many senses, a standalone camera in its own right.
It's standalone in the sense that, first off, you see the dot, basically once it stops blinking, I'm in focus, I took a picture. Now, if you're one of those people that says, yeah, but I can't really see what I'm taking a picture of, we just released an update to the firmware 2 weeks ago because this is also the first camera that evolves after you buy it. So you swipe up, and now you have your viewfinder.
Oh, wow, okay, that's pretty neat.
So I can see these people walking by, focus again, take a picture.
Okay, so I mean, obviously you are trusting the autofocus there. It's not a high definition, but you can get a sense of composition, a sense of the framing. But in many ways, it's great that it is standalone. It's when you plug it into the phone, that's where you really see the power of the lens in here, right?
So basically, let me turn on my phone. Okay. So the power of the camera comes really once it's connected. Now again, it's connected there. I simply attach it to the iPhone 6 Plus, and now I have my interface.
Right.
All right. So you can see here you have all your settings. You have your formats that you can choose for the photo. You have your timer. You have your flash, which it uses the flash of the iPhone.
Sure. Right? So it's RAW as well as JPEG in here.
So you're shooting RAW files in a .dng file. Yeah. Then you can shoot your JPEG files, and we also have a format that's exclusive to DxO, which is called the Super RAW. Yeah. You never heard that anywhere else, right?
No, I don't.
Now, the Super RAW is basically four RAW files that are taken at 22 frames per second, combined into one file, and it's kind of a TNR, so a temporal noise reduction, to give you the absolute best photo with the cleanest noise reduction possible. So yeah. Really good for night photography.
Now, in terms of the lens on here, so I get the idea we're not using the smartphone lens, we're using the sensor in here. Is this a fixed focal length lens still?
Fixed focal length, 32 millimeters.
Okay.
So a little bit more narrow than the iPhone, which is, I believe, at 28, so 4 millimeter difference, but not too much. So it's a great compromise for you to be able to walk around and do your street photography, also to do architecture, landscapes, pretty much anything.
Now, as a smartphone photographer, having lack of manual control in smartphone is a bit of a pain. With here, you can adjust the aperture. That's a really big deal, isn't it?
If you look here, you have the M, so you have your scene modes, you have your auto mode, and then the advanced modes, pretty much like a professional quality camera. Yeah. Once I hit the M, okay, so I'm in manual, I can click the shutter speed from 1/20,000th of a second, scroll down all the way to
30-second exposure.
Exactly. So for the guys who want to shoot the night photos, it's a lot of fun for them. Now for the aperture, I can slide from f1.8.
Let me give you a bit of foreground here so we can see some of the depth of field kind of action.
Right there. So we're at f11. Now once I scroll down, f1.8, you can start to see that really it's only your hand that's
really blown out the background. That's incredible.
Now the ISO, again, we can go from auto or we can go up to 100 ISO. But if you're really feeling fun, and want to get techie, we can go all the way to 51,200 ISO, which your iPhone won't come close to. Then we have other things that you can change, like the the focus. So you can go down and change your focus from single shot, continuous, all the way to the manual focus as well. So you really have all the controls of a professional quality camera, without having to carry around something so heavy. And then, get into video, it also does video. So it does full HD, 1080p, and 30 frames per second. Then if you go to super slow-mo, you can also get that in 120 frames per second. Wow. So it's really a complete camera that you can just walk around in your pocket with and forget about.
That's great stuff. We're out of time for now, but I do urge you, if you want to come and see the DxO in action, it is quite incredible. Someone who's, I'm sure many people are used to framing stuff up using a smartphone. The difference that one of these little bad boys can make is quite remarkable. Finally, what sort of price are we looking at for this? Can you tell us, DeMarcus?
So during the show, we're at a price of £399, which will get you the DxO One, but we're also throwing in for the show special a tripod with it. So a tripod that'll allow you to latch on your phone and the camera so you can take your night shots, as well as a 32 gig memory card, the micro SD card. So that'll allow you over 600 photos, RAW and JPEG.
It's great to hear. Listen, DeMarcus, DxO One, thank you so much, my friend. Have yourself a great day.
All right, you too.